So I started explaining the collective grid in regards to Earth School. I'm going to do a quick explanation here, and then I'm going to lead into the meditation. And there's a very good chance that maybe I'll start with the meditation. Okay, so as we get into our breathing, as we get into our meditation and grounding, I want you to feel all of your chakras kind of light up and line up, follow your spine, and ground into earth. I'm outside right now, it's absolutely beautiful, so definitely if you can get outside, do it. Even if you can just sit in front of the window, open it up, get some fresh air in, and let the sun beam in on your face through the window, do that. If you can do that, do it. So I want you guys to visualize this, and I want you to put yourself in like a bird's eye view. Like literally pretend, like what would a bird see if they were up this high? And I want you guys to visualize Earth's atmosphere covered in these little dots, and each one of these dots is one of us. So one of these dots is you. So get yourself into a bird's eye view. It can be literally looking over your own neighborhood. Bring yourself up, and as you're flying over your city, your town, over something else, over an ocean, I want you to tap into that energy. I call in Archangel Metatron and Goddess Isis to do this visualization and meditation with me. And whenever you're ready, welcome them in. Okay, so as we ascend and as we light up our spirit, our soul is quite literally like this electrical plasmic energy. And as we open up to the truth of our subconscious, this soul of us lights up, which is why we're the dots in this earth grid, like the picture that I am showing you right now. As you get into your bird's eye view, I want you to fall into this grid, and I want you to kind of align yourself with those around you. Look around, you can see that there are many dots. Before, there was very few of these dots around us. And a lot of us didn't even realize that we were part of this grid. And in my first episode, the part 1 to this, go back there and I start explaining the purpose of this grid and what it means. So go check that out. So as you are getting accustomed to your grid, you can start kind of feeling like the grid is moving around Earth, and you might be kind of traveling to different parts of the Earth. So if you think of it, like I always see maps, I see like geography. I suck at geography. I don't know half the time what my guides are showing me, but this is how it works. It's like I meet them at that grid, at that kind of fence or gate, and they start kind of moving me around the grid to show me certain things. And sometimes we pull in stuff from the past, and sometimes we pull in stuff from the future, sometimes it's other timelines and dimensions, but it's always in this kind of form of the grid. And each one of these dots, once again, is one of us. What is happening right now is that the more of us that trigger this electrical plasmic opening or activity within our souls, we are lighting up the grid more and more. And in turn, that energy blasts off to those around us and triggers them. And the more of us that are in this grid lit up, the more control we have over the energies of Mother Earth. What's happened in the past is a lot of this stuff was kept secret. You're crazy, you're delusional if you believe in all this stuff, so that certain few people can control Mother Earth's energy. It was only them that were awakened to the grid, its purpose, and its ability to do activities on it. So the more of us that are aware of what is happening with this grid, and we light up, we take more of that control back. There are certain collectives dedicated to kind of doing the energy work for certain parts of the grid. It can be with weather, it can be with truth, it can be with light and love, it can be with activating sacred rage, it could be with balancing the energies, it could be within the spiritual war where you're like literally fighting the people that used to control the grid. It could be all of the above. And one thing that happens is so we're down here as humans, and then up here is the atmospheric grid. So we are grounded on the ground right now, in the cement, the dirt, and above us in the atmosphere is this grid. The more that we process and heal, and as we stay grounded and rooted into Mother Earth, and we do this processing and we're awakening our chakras, we are awakening the ladder or ability to climb up to the collective grid. Once we're in that collective grid, consciously and grounded and rooted into Mother Earth, that is how we control the energy of Mother Earth. Now what's happening is more of us are lighting up, more of us are doing the ascension. And each one of these steps that you take to get up to the collective grid is the ascension. It is the level up. So Earth is a video game, you're leveling up. And each time you level up, you do the shadow work, you process the emotions, the energies associated with it in order to cultivate and manipulate that energy. Depending on what our contract says in regards to what energy we're meant to trigger and that we're meant to process. And when I say process, it's very much that energy work. Like, you are responsible for clearing those energies or balancing in some way, shape, or form those energies. And that is done through processing emotions. Once you're able to do that, that is when you start being able to be an energy worker within that field. So when you've leveled up, now you have the ability to access, control, and manipulate the energies you've just leveled up from. And then you're going to get triggered and you're going to do the shadow work and the energetic and emotional processing to get to the completion of that level so that you can control and harness the energies that you've just done the shadow work for. And then that is your next up level. Your next up level gets triggered and so forth until you get to the collective grid. So it's quite literally a ladder from the bottom of our feet all the way up to, from our crown to our star chakra, all the way up to when we achieve the collective grid. And what's happening now, the Great Awakening, the Great Reset, the more of us that are, even if we're not aware, the ability for us to control the energies is how much shadow work and processing we've done with how heavy the energies are. So it's kind of like a ratio or like a balance scale, right? So as we've kind of harnessed and worked this energies, and everybody's got a different level. Like, this isn't like level 1, level 2. This is like depending on your, like, this is like a freaking quantum physics equation, okay? So you've got a lot of different details in there, and I talk about this in a different episode, and I'll mention them all below. So when you get to certain levels of processing, and you're able to kind of harness that energy. If you have just processed heavy emotions and you have been able to transmute that into the dual energy that we actually want, so it's kind of like hate and you've transmuted it into compassion and love. It's like anger and you've kind of transmuted it into sacred rage associated with compassion and love. Once you're able to do that, you actually have more of the ability to control the energies of the earth. So the heavier and the more of the emotions and energies that you process, the more you can control Earth's energies. What is happening right now? The more of us that wake up in this Great Awakening, in this Great Reset, we are actually kind of all over the place with the energies, which is why everything is seeming so chaotic, and it's only going to get more chaotic the more of us that wake up. Each collective is responsible for certain energies. Sometimes these collectives' ideas kind of clash, and because we're starting to have so much more power over the energies, we're going to see a lot more clashing in more extreme ways. It's almost like we're not going to be talking about it, we're literally going to be seeing the energies play out in front of us. And this is, again, why things seem so chaotic. One thing I want everybody to remember, if you understand that you work in a certain collective and you kind of disagree with certain ideas, we have to be open and mindful for all of us to communicate. And this is where the energy and emotion of ego, which is what we've lived off of for so long, is in regards to all of us, is one thing that has to be transmuted into love and compassion. So we have been rooted in a very egotistic society. Okay, I'm going to do part 3. For the end of this visualization, I want you guys to continue continue visualizing yourself in a bird's eye view up in the collective grid. And I want you guys to start learning how to access certain parts of your energy and shadow work and transmuting energy, and practice that within your subconscious. You can literally create scenarios. Don't go overboard with scenarios. Some of you are very powerful energy workers, and one little tiny move from you is like a big catastrophic thing. So kind of like the butterfly, the flap of a butterfly's wing. So just be gentle. Don't go crazy on negative stuff. And this is where we say keep putting hope out there. I am not a love and light person. I am a love and fight person. So access your sacred rage through love and compassion, and let love and compassion always lead you. I'm going to leave you with that, and part 3 is coming up next. Bye.